What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna review for you guys. Today I'm gonna be doing a review on episode 1 through 3 on Star Wars Andor. And just to let you guys know that the show came out yesterday, and well, what's it called? If you guys have not seen the show, go ahead and click away because I'm gonna be going into spoilers. And if you guys have seen the show, well, enjoy the video. So here we go. And then what's called this scene, we also get introduced to what's called, I guess, the main villains of the film, who are actually this group of corrupt agents. I guess that's what actually was called found out. And basically these guys are actually what's called kind of like, the way how their system runs is actually kind of pretty like, different than like these other other state what's called other corrupt what's called agents. Oh, well, literally basically this actually what's called the first group of agents that that were shown in the Star Wars universe, or I don't know, but literally basically this guy right here, he's actually one of my favorite characters in the show, because basically the way how like he's actually treated, or like the way how he's like his character is like basically he literally tries to go, well, tried to go ahead and get the job done, but he's actually getting crapped on or something or whatever. And also he tries to go ahead and maintain, his workplace, and tries to go ahead and take everything to his side. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. And they had guys, so that's the review on episode 1. Honestly, like episode 1 was pretty solid, and basically they actually kind of gives us a little bit of like, like, well, it literally kind of shows the plot. Was called, including the beginning of the episode, Cassian gets chased off by two agents. He ends up killing them, and then he ends up getting wanted for. And then basically he tries to go and get connections that people he knows to go ahead and actually leave. And basically, well, like that's where it also actually leads into the next episode. So yeah, but anyway, move. All right, then after that we also get to what's called episode 2, and then basically we know what you're seeing Cassian's friend actually the episode starts off with Cassian's friend end up leaving it. Then we end up seeing her boyfriend or love interest or whatever ends up sneaking into what's called the files to try to find out like what they're up to. And then yeah, this is where things kind of get wrong at the end. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. And then we also get introduced to this character who is actually what's called Cassian's adopted mother. Now, the reason why I say adopted mother, because, well, in episode 3, well, I'm going to go ahead and get to that, in a bit, basically, like, he is actually what's called Cassian's, adopted mother, and basically, well, he actually has been, the one who actually, raised Cassian to, like, the way how he actually came out in the show, and also where he actually got on to join the rebellion. And basically, well, literally like that right there, that kind of sounded pretty interesting, because basically I did not know that Cassian was actually adopted, which was kind of pretty interesting, and like literally like that right there kind of sets up pretty good lore for the character. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. And then this scene, like I don't know why I decided to point it out. Basically, the scene right here, we're going to see the two love interest. I'm not saying that they go at it, and like basically this show like literally is kind of giving me those adult vibes, or like literally I've been seeing that on YouTube, like basically they say the show's kind of like adults, and basically, well, literally it does actually kind of show that, but basically I guess that's the way how the show is. I guess that basically the show is kind of like literally basically the show is actually kind of like crime and also a drama show at the same time. Basically literally I kind of like the way how that kind of blends in. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. There, we also get actually another flashback to Cassian's origin. That basically, when this scene, we end up seeing the tribe interfering a spaceship until suddenly this guy ends up shooting the leader, and then basically all it all goes wrong, and then basically there's actually shoot up, but they quickly take out the guy, and the leader did not make it. So yeah, but anyway, move. And then we also get this scene where we actually seeing the agents heading towards the planning to go and capture Cassian Andor. And then basically this villain ends up actually giving out a speech. Well, literally I don't know why I decided to include it, but whatever. But honestly, like it's whatever. But anyway, moving on. And then we also get introduced to this character who actually somehow, well, spoiler, he actually knows Cassian Andor. But I'm gonna talk about that in the third episode. And like basically he's actually on his way to meet Cassian, who actually somehow has something to give him, and then he's gonna give him 1,000 crates. And basically, well, like that, like it literally kind of does plan out, but it doesn't plan out that well in the third episode. So yeah, but anyway, moving on. And then hey guys, so that was revealed on episode 2. So yeah, basically episode 2 does actually explore like more of of Cassian's what's called backstory, introducing to us, the new characters, and like basically what's called the plot is actually moving forward. What's called more, and then in the third episode, that's where like what's called that's where like the